Hey, how my thinking leads to eating. I used to be, ... I used to be a runner. Now I'm too heavy to run. I used to be 10 pounds lighter, but now I'm 10 pounds heavier. I used to be at this goal weight, but now I'm not. This used to be statement is super unhelpful. It gets our lower brain all kinds of geared up because it seems like there's a problem to fix. So many people compare where they are right now to where they were in the past. I know I did it too. When I had lost a good amount of weight, about 80-ish, 90-ish pounds back in high school, I got to kind of sit at a comfortable weight for me for about 3 years. Then I gained all the weight back plus 90 pounds, hence why I had to go on this journey again. But I remember feeling a huge sense of resentment, frustration. My ego was really struggling during that time because when people would meet me, I felt like there was two versions of me. I felt like there was the version of me that had once lived at a healthier body weight, and then there was the me now. And that never helped me because by having to explain to people, but I used to be, I used to weigh, what it was doing is it wasn't allowing me to accept where I really was in the moment, let go of the story, shut my ego down, and say, let's move forward. It was this constant mental cycling, beating myself up. Then my lower brain would come in and say, well, let's get you back there. Let's do all these things. Let's drop those 5 pounds per week or do these extreme things to get you there. And really, the worst thing we can do besides comparing ourselves to others is also doing this to ourselves with where we used to be with our own progress. Wherever you are now is where you are now. Better to say, hey, I'm not running right now. I love running. How could I start to build the practice of running back into my life, right? How could I start to do that process? If I know that I'd like to get to a healthier weight, I don't necessarily need to get back to the weight I used to be. I don't. I could just start the journey of moving forward with my healthy eating. So when we're constantly striving to be back where we were, right? And we're saying, but I used to be. I have a client right now, she is 10 pounds heavier than she was. And she's really struggling just getting her calories locked in because she feels she shouldn't be here. That's not helping her, right? And how does that create problems with our lower brain? When we compare, we feel a sense of there's a problem. Lower brain goes into problem fixing mode, gives us all the stuff to do. We feel overwhelmed, frustrated, and guess what? She says, I start every day really well. I'm feeling really burned out by the evening. I'm feeling mentally exhausted because we're feeling that sense of gotta fix it now, gotta make it right. This is unacceptable. Lower brain doesn't like it. We're failing at this. We weigh 10 pounds more than we did before. Not acceptable. None of that helps you, okay? So how do we help ourselves? We say, this is where I am today. And you know what? I can look at what I can do today to move myself forward. And if I loved being a runner, if I loved my lifestyle, eating and taking care of myself in a different way, I can start to build those habits back. But I do not need to worry about necessarily even getting back to where I was. There's lots of places between where you are now and where you were at that moment in time. And you have to also ask yourself a really important question. Sometimes life situations happen that make things fall out of alignment, like our habits and stuff like that. But sometimes we do things to achieve a goal that really aren't sustainable. And the only way you know that is to live your life, let time pass, and to see. And if you were like, well, I used to weigh 140, but now I'm 170. Okay, so were you wanting to stick with the lifestyle that it required to weigh 140? Or does 170 seem better? Just because you achieved it at one point doesn't mean it's maintainable, sustainable. But I'm telling you now, this I used to be statement, I used to be ... Used to be a runner, used to be 100 pounds less, used to be 10 pounds less, used to be somebody who did X, Y, and Z. None of that helps. let go of that. It gets the lower brain all kinds of fired up and gets it trying to fix a problem that doesn't actually exist. And it doesn't allow you to finish the day in a positive way because you're going through the story in your head over and over again. It's wasting a lot of your valuable energy and focus. I'd really rather see you say, hey, what are some really great habits to get myself into more of being a runner again? What would that look like compared to what I'm doing right now? Moving you toward what you think you want. Just because you were there once doesn't mean you even necessarily want to get back there again. Maybe not like what you were doing if it really wasn't sustainable for you. All right. So I hope this message helps. Again, let go of the story. I know it's hard. I know it's painful. And I've done it myself. It never brought me joy saying, oh my gosh, I used to weigh 100 and something pounds less than I do right now, trying to defend that person, stand up for that person, talk about that person as if they really existed, didn't help me in the present moment. It just made me feel worse about my situation. It was better for me actually to let that person go and redevelop a new person, Heather. Let new Heather come and transform. Because in all reality, the way I even got to that weight wasn't good for me, wasn't sustainable. Yet I felt this desperation to get back there again. So it's also being honest with yourself. You guys have a great day. Please like and subscribe, share the videos, and I will talk to you soon.